my little Luxes. This is another Charsie Chats, and I am your host, cosplayer Charsie Lux. And right now, I am dressed up on special occasion. Get you there? I am dressed up for a special occasion of it is that time of year again, and we are moving into LuxxxMas season. So yes, Merry LuxxxMas, and we are going to open up this month in very positive tone, or at least trying to be in a positive tone. Let's put it that way. I will go into a lot more detail in my next Charsie Chats that I will be posting. I had recorded that first, but so when listening to that one, I'm going to be talking about certain points that I'm going to be bringing back to this one, but they're important things for me to talk about because I am just giving fun updates and other things going on. Just really good things that have been going on, and that I've been trying to focus a lot more on the good, on the positive, because at this point in time of year last year, I was at some of my lowest low. Well, actually, I should say probably the lowest I have ever felt in my entire life. Now, I had also said on that video, so not to just keep repeating myself, so I apologize if it seems very repetitive when you're watching these videos, because I'm filming them on the same day, but you are not seeing them on the same day. But that I had explained in an earlier episode of Charsie Chats, talking about the very emotional things that have been going on with me for this past year, and just what was going on, and that I have never felt that dark inside, and that empty and depressed and just hurt, and I didn't know or understand what was going on, and I made the wise decision to seek out help and to get a therapist and to start working on myself, and that getting to the root of what was wrong and what was going on, and also so that if it's a healthier me, and like what I keep saying and repeating over and over again, mental health is just as important as physical health. So when my mental health was failing, my physical health was also failing. So all around, I was falling apart, and since I'd never felt that awful before, I've never felt that level of depression before, I didn't know what was wrong, and everything felt wrong in that moment and point. So the holiday seasons can always be really, really, really hard. Well, I shouldn't say always. Always is not a good word to ever use, because it's not always the same way for everyone. It's not always that way for me. Sometimes the holiday seasons can be really rough for people, and especially for my mom. My mom growing up, she hated the holidays. Now, me as a child looking at that, my mom just always seemed grumpy around the holidays and that, and as a child I didn't understand it, because to me, I loved Christmas. I loved the spirit around the holidays. My dad loved the holidays. So that also went on for me, because we did the whole decorations and it was always like family events. But for my mom, she hated the holiday seasons because that was the time of year that her father wasn't at work and he was back home. And my maternal grandfather had a dark side to him. One of those people where he was very two-faced. Like, if he was in the public eye, he was very friendly, very outgoing, just this all-around great guy. But behind closed doors, my grandfather, unfortunately, was not a very nice person. So me growing up and becoming an adult and then finally having these conversations with my mom was when I had learned and found out. And it also, because she didn't like the holidays anyways, she never felt comfortable going to holiday events on my dad's side of the family, so my paternal family, which you all have heard me say in the past how I feel about my paternal side of the family, and that I don't have anything to do with them anymore. In fact, the last time I saw them was in 2019 for my cousin's wedding. And after that day and how lowly they made me and my husband feel, we made the decision we really didn't want anything to do with them ever again. which has been a wonderful struggle with me and my brother because he's still close to them, and it's so hard trying to explain to him that just because his thoughts and opinions are one way doesn't mean that I can't feel the complete opposite. And that especially the fact that he is going to college right now to become a guidance counselor. It's one of those weird things that it's like he's one of the toughest people to ever talk to in the first place. And now it seems even worse because he always wants to like talk down to me and act like he's got this therapist brain when he's talking to me, and he's like psychoanalyzing everything. And it's like I'm looking at him and I'm like, this isn't right and okay. And it's like, it's totally okay and fine if he wants to go and spend time with the paternal side of the family and if he's close to him. It's not a slight against me. But I just wish I could somehow get it through his head that it's like, I'm not comfortable being around any of them. I don't feel like I'm a part of the family. I feel like an outcast. And it's like, I hated leaving family holiday events. And it's like, everything in your body was so tense, and that it's like you felt so awful and awkward that when you leave, you just feel sick. Like it wasn't a pleasant experience. So instead of putting myself through that, it's like, then I'm just going to take myself out of the mix. And in my head, they carry on just fine without me. It's just one of those things where it's like, I learned from my own experiences and to also understand with my mom that just because of the fact that my dad loved the holidays, it's okay that my mom didn't. Because to her, there was negativeness surrounded by the holiday season. So I can understand now in my adult brain of being, oh, this is why my parents were always butting heads on things, because they weren't coming to just a middle ground and understanding. And I'm getting that same struggle with my brother now, where it's like, I wish we could just agree to disagree and just kind of move on from that. But it's like, unfortunately, my brother likes doing this guilt trip thing now. And I'm not looking forward to this holiday season if he's going to do that again, because I've been learning through therapy that it's like I need to start voicing my opinions, and that I've always been such a people pleaser, and I've always thought, no, I can't say what I want to say because it could hurt somebody's feelings. And it's like, there's a way that I can approach situations that there's no reason why people should be getting upset just because I say like, hey, I don't want to be around that side of the family because I don't feel comfortable with them. There's no reason why anybody should be offended by that. But I bring this forward to kind of talk about the fact that yes, the holiday seasons can be really stressful, but the holiday seasons can also be wonderful as well. And that's what I've been finding the joy in, is that recently it's like I enjoy just the small family gatherings when it's just my mom and my stepdad and my grandma, and then we have our cousins, the few cousins that we enjoy having around with us, and then just other people that we consider family members. They're not related by blood, but they've become family, a soul family, that you bring them into the mix, and you just love spending time with each other. We don't have to get gifts for one another. We just want to sit around a table. We want to have a big meal, the conversations, and just enjoying each other's time, maybe sitting and watching a Christmas movie or two. It's been a huge learning experience for me, and I'm looking at the positives this year that I am miles in the opposite direction of where I was last Christmas season. And when I was at my lowest low, and to where I'm at now, and I'm so happy with where I've been moving forward, and I won't be getting emotional. We won't let this zombie get emotional. But yeah, I'm proud of myself with the accomplishments I've been able to have and to push forward. And I'm excited to see what 2024 brings for me, and that's what I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on the negatives. I don't want to focus on, or if I am talking about like a horror story from the past or something that happened from the past, that I can look at it in a different light, and that it doesn't trigger a toxic memory in me, and that I can at least grow and learn from that situation, but not letting it affect me to get me upset or anything like that. But yes, excited also, like I said, talking about the fact that I'm opening up, I'm having more channels, that I'm going to have a focus for my luxxxycharms channel, which will be my movie and TV reviews, movie reviews, and commentary when I do like television and movie related commentary. And then Scary Stories My Father Told Me is replacing the ghost stories my father told me, and that is what is going to be dedicated for that channel, will be all horror, supernatural, urban legends, folklore, scary stories, ghost stories, that will all be on Scary Stories My Father Told Me. And then Charsie Chats will keep developing and being here on Charsie Lux for my main channel, but I'm going to be celebrating LuxxxMas on all of my channels. Now, the Mask of the Red Death, that is the only one that isn't a holiday related type of ghost story, but I'm hoping to get into some holiday horror stories that I can find. Also here on Charsie Chats for the LuxxxMas season, I'm hoping that I can kind of talk about the folklore of Krampus and everything that's around him, and I love the Krampus story. So then I'm also hoping that I can do a Krampus related Christmas story over on my movie review channel. I did do Krampus last year, but unfortunately that commentary is not up because Universal Studios completely fought it and blocked the video, so unfortunately that one is no longer in existence. But I'm hoping to do another Krampus related movie review, and just we're gonna see how things change and develop. As much as I love using the movie clips, either I have to have them be like super short clips, like 5 to 10 seconds long, or I'm just gonna have to use movie stills or photos that I can find from the movie and just make sure that it's open stock photos that I can use on my channel, that it's not gonna get copyright claims or anything like that. We will see. I mean, it's a never-ending learning process. The day we stop growing and learning as people is the day that our brains start rotting away and we literally do become like zombies or vegetables. Because I was gonna say, why would you ever want to stop learning and growing? Yeah, and I always want to be doing better and better, and I want to do better for my channels. I want to do better for me, and hopefully in the positivity and with the growth, I am coming up with new ideas, better cosplays. I am super, super proud and happy of how this zombie look came out. I am like, I was very sad with how I had a set idea for my Siren Sarah in the Willy's Wonderland, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted to. And it was so late in that day, and I was already frustrated, so I just recorded instead of making the decision of wiping everything off and starting over, which I should have. But I'm so proud of how this zombie makeup turned out. Like, it turned out exactly how I was envisioning it in my head. And so to go from being upset with myself for failing at a makeup job that I did in the Willy's Wonderland movie review to this, I'm ending it on a good note, being a happy little zombie for LuxxxMas, and also just pulling in some more good news that it's funny. My old job had reached out and had asked me if I'd be willing to come in and just help out with a few things that as they're getting ready for the end of the year and they're having a lot of processes and things being done that they needed help with. And I remembered last year and how awful it was me doing it by myself. And now obviously they have new people in there doing it that have never done it themselves and never done it by themselves, let alone if you've never done it at all. And I'm like, you know what? I'm free. They're paying me for my time. I get to make my schedule. It's up to me. So I'm like, yeah, let's just do that. So I've been finding, well, I have less free time right now because of the fact that I am working right now. So that's been kind of a nice positive to be pulling in some more funds for the holiday season, because obviously it was my choice and decision to leave the job in the first place, and I haven't found anything else. But it's been super good for me to take the time for me to focus on myself, working on the therapy, working on me, concentrating on my channels and everything for that. But it's been the weird fluctuation of frustrations when it's been coming to things, and so it's been interesting seeing how things have been changing and developing in my brain, where it's like, when I first left the job, I had this idea in my head that I'm like, oh, I'll be able to put all this time into my channel, into my social medias, and I'll be able to grow it. Well, then, I don't know what happened. It's just things went the opposite for me. Even though I was doing more work, I was getting less success with it. I don't remember closing that door, but Callie's scratching away. But yeah, I've been putting more work into everything, but it seems like it's been going the opposite way. That instead of gaining subscribers, gaining viewers, or anything like that, it's been going the opposite way. So that was getting under my skin, where it's like, am I doing something wrong? And so, and of course, because I'm still trying to get into a very healthy mental state, that I was judging myself, and as I always say, I'm my own worst critic. So it's been an ongoing struggle no matter what. But as I always want to say on my channel, I'm going to try and keep things positive for myself, for all of you. And I appreciate every single one of you that keeps coming and spending your time here with me. I've had a lot of people that are like, well, we'll miss you on Twitter and this and that. I'm not happy with Twitter. I'm not happy with those social medias, because my God, I had to leave for 2 weeks in order for me to come back to finally start seeing my friends' posts, because for the longest time it was nothing but ads or stuff that I could have cared less about, people I didn't even know. And now that I came back, I'm finally seeing my friends' posts again. So it's like, Twitter's not the same. Twitter's not the Twitter that I started with, the Twitter that I fell in love with when I started my Charsie Lux channel. I'm always sticking with my YouTube. I took a short break from YouTube because I was very angry with it for the copyright claims, and they're never stopping. It doesn't matter how much you try to dispute it, and that I am in the right with the fair use on those, but whatever. Hopefully someday YouTube will fix that and make things better. They're finally loosening the reins when it comes to swearing and that kind of stuff. But I'm also obviously on my Patreon as well. I'm always posting on there. So even if I'm taking a break from anything else, I'm always going to be posting on my Patreon. And my lowest tier is $1. So my main, when I'm just posting and giving updates and things like that, everything is on there. So if you're missing me and you're wondering what's going on, I'm up there on my Patreon. I'm giving updates, I'm letting people know what's going on, and that, you know, I'm still around. I haven't gone anywhere. I have to do what is best for me. So if I'm not on Twitter, it's because Twitter is a very toxic place now. And the negativity will get to me. And the fact that it's like I'm always worried about other people over myself, when I start feeling that happening and building up, that's when it's like, okay, I need to go take the break. I need to step away. And it's a learning process. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. And please come talk to me in the comments down below. Let's celebrate LuxxxMas. Let's celebrate the holidays. Let's spread some good cheer. Tell me something good that happened to you this week. I want to know what was the best thing that happened to you this week, and share that with me in the comments down below. Because I want to say, for this LuxxxMas, I want to focus on the good, on the positive. So what was something awesome that happened to you this week. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, even if I'm taking breaks from them, please come follow me on my Twitter or my Blue Sky for Charsie Lux with 3 X's, or on my Instagram or Threads for Charsie87. And please also come help support me on my Patreon for Charsie Lux. And you can see in the description above me, those are a shout out to my Patreons on the channel. And always remember that I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to come join me in the afterlife of the party and come become a LuxxxMas Zombie with me. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Because in the end, all we truly have is ourselves. And thank you so much for joining me again, and I hope you have a LuxxxMas kind of day. Bye.